counting. The last time I took something was the castor oil. That was yesterday early in the morning. But the last time I took my meal, which was very light meal, was on when is today? Is it Thursday? So that is Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday evening. That was Tuesday evening, the very late in the evenings, the last time I did take my last meal. This fasting started very strong. I'm feeling I'm strong. But at this time, I want to tell you the truth. I'm not as strong as I was. Hey, thank you so much for this. Yeah, you're most welcome. So I'm not as strong as I was when I was starting the fast. At a point, I'm feeling like, wow. So it's becoming a little tough now for my body. And this is how I'm encouraging myself. Much better this toughness that I've induced in myself rather than the toughness of a disease that now forces me to do things that I don't choose. This is a choice. But when you are under disease, you are given things without a choice. Now you don't have a choice. What you are handed over to the hands of other people who are going to do the things they want with you. So if this prevention now without a disease will prevent me from getting any disease on the face of the earth, then this pain is with gain. And it's not pain anyway. It's just some feeling of discomfort. That's what I can say. It's not a pain that I can say, I can just say, oh, okay, this is where I'm feeling the pain. No. Oh, okay, so let's start. Who is here? We start with that. That was my introduction. Just feeling my feelings, how I'm feeling about the fast. It's wonderful. I have strength, I have joy. And there's something that Dr. Philip said today. By the way, we are going to watch Dr. Philip's meetings today. It's going to be available for everybody. I'm going to put it as public, but then the other ones, the rest of the other ones are the ones that I'm going to, we're going to have them as unlisted. But today's meeting is going to be public for everyone to watch. That I'll do tomorrow. He said, which I also resonate with, that dry fast, one day of dry fast is like restitution. It's like repentance for a full year of sin. Today was more of handling dry fast than the spirituality, and it was like one day of suffering in dry fast pays for a full year of sin. And you see, this is very common in the in the Hebrew. They do the Yom Kippur when they do a dry fast for 25 hours, total dry fast for 24 hours. And it's always, God forgive us of the sins we have done of the full year that is past, and now we dedicate the next year so that it can have good promises, your good things and life, and they say inscribe our name in the book of life, so that we can our names can be only in the book of life. That's their prayer, forgiveness of sins of the past, and focusing on the ahead goodness for the year that is coming. So even our prayer today, we know as Christians, we know we are coming from different background anyway, but as Christians, we know that nobody can pay for our sin except for Christ to work on the cross. But fasting helps us to reach that grace that has been given to us for free, easily. So I'm not going to that area. That one I'm not going to for now. I'm not going to that area for now. But fasting is really good for everything, whether spiritual, whether medical, whatever reason, for mental, whatever reason, for the body, just for well-being, normal well-being, wholesome. You want to be fully spirit, soul, and body. Spirit, soul, and body. Fasting. And you don't overemphasize on one side. You don't overemphasize maybe for on the body side only. You don't overemphasize on the soul only or the spirit only. It is a whole thing. It goes on together all the same time. Okay. We can now go to the next. So we will maybe say our name and our intention with this fasting, which I've not yet said, by the way. I have an intention with the fast. I'm going to let you know. So we'll start. Who do we start with? Please ready. Who is coming first? Who is unmuting him or herself?
I can begin.
Yeah, welcome, Ellie.
Thank you.
Did I call your name right? Did I call your name right?
Yeah.
Ellie?
Well, my name is
Okay.
actually Eliza, but I just find it
Eliza?
way too serious. Yeah, so I just go with Ellie. So it's good.
Okay.
Well, I also started it when you started it, but I didn't do it dry yesterday because I took oxy powder in the evening, so I had a glass of water with that. So yeah, going with you till the 24th and perhaps beyond that if I can. So I believe the intention for this fast is to let go of all of the negative feelings and the guilt from last year. So it was a very tough year for most people, I believe, and same for me. So I just want to use that with the intention of letting go. So yeah, that's for me. Thank you.
Wow, great. Thank you so much. It's like forgiving people, those people. We have interacted with people over the year, the whole year. Some people have hurt us, others our own. Maybe we did not intend, but we hurt them. So we're asking for release, and that's good. Actually, for us to have a good year, it works that way. You correct the last years, then now you dedicate this next year, and that's why you're doing it in January anyway. The importance of doing a fast in January for us is that it's like we are dedicating the whole of this year. This is the head of this year. So we're dedicating the whole of the year so that it can have peace, it can bring us joy, it can bring us the ways of our Lord so that we be in service for him in everything that we need to do. Thank you so much. I really like your intentions. Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else who is going to give us what they feel for this? It might not be just for me, the way I'm saying it. You can say it in your format. There's no problem. Just say it in your format, but flow with us. Yeah.
I can go next.
Okay, Janelle.
Hello, my name is Nellie, and I participated in the fasting retreat over the summer. So I'm excited to do another fasting retreat. Last year was breaking up of a relationship in my life, and that's been very difficult and very stressful. And I've been praying for peace with it, and as well to be able to continue to treat this person with love and respect. And that's been really hard. It's been very stressful, putting me through a lot of stress, this person in particular. So it's been very hard to show love and respect. And I know I'm spiritually strong enough to do it. So this is why I'm going to be fasting.
Wow. But I can tell you something. It is healing time for you. Especially
yes.
the parts of the emotion. When you get totally into the fast, it's automatic. You're going to shed everything that is negative, everything in your emotions that is not good, that is toxic, that brings also that stress. It is going to flow off. And this is the time that whatever feeling you will have that will give you sorrow, kind of you feel like crying, it's okay. It's a time for flow. And very shortly, you're going to have these feelings. They're going to come and you're going to feel like you are so much hurt. You'll be wondering, why would somebody do for me like this or like that? But let them flow. Let them flow. It's healing time. We always say that Dry Fast does this thing like open surgery, where it brings the wound. Yeah, it brings the wound. So you feel it so much and sometimes it can be overwhelming. You might be tempted to stop the fast, but that is the healing time. You don't interrupt the fast. You keep on going. And then after the healing, you'll be able to not just make decisions. Your mind will be very clear on this. You'll also have peace in your heart and your mind, and you know that what I've done or the next step I'm taking. Also, that's called direction. You're going to find this with all the. That's why fasting is just like the grandmaster, the real thing. For you don't need counseling here. You don't need counseling. Your body and your mind will just reset. So I'm just happy for you for the things that are about to happen for you here in this in this journey that you have started together.
Difficult things that I've ever experienced, and so I know that to challenge myself in the most difficult way right now is like the medicine I need.
Yes, and it's going to do it. It's going to do it for you. So thank you so much. Maya can't talk now. Was in the water fast, aiming to do 7 distilled water and then tomorrow going for 9 to 12 days dry fast. Intentions are spiritual, going through. Okay, understand. So I may not read the whole thing because that sounds private a little. It is for us who are in the group now. Now, I don't know if there's anybody else who's remained. Oh, we have not heard from Fu now. Sarah is here. I don't know, Sarah, if you have time, if you can unmute and greet us, maybe.
Hi, family.
Hi.
Can you hear? Okay. Yay.
Hi,
Yes,
Sarah.
Hi. I'm so happy to be here with all of us, and my intention would be a non-intention. So what happens when I have no opinion, just no opinion at all? What is the reality? What is the actuality? What is the truth? How much of that are we able to stabilize in? In this moment, we're all just here, right? There's just an actuality. There's just an absolute. There is a limitlessness. So I just want to open to whatever that is with no opinion, zero opinion. Thank you all for doing this.
Wow. You're most welcome, Sarah. And you're doing great. Now, the next thing that I really wanted to tell you people, this is what I have felt is like the intention for this fast. For me, it is just coming. I did not think about it before the starting of the fast. Even during the time I was doing the preparation, it was not there in my mind. But then immediately I started, I think a day before the starting, it came up very strong. And then I'm like, okay, now I've gotten it. There's something that we have realized in most of the meetings we have had, especially in autonomy, this thing about service, helping others. And, this starts, it's like what we have, the teachings we have for Christians. Love your neighbors, you love yourself. Do to the others the way you would have liked them to do for you, to you. So this is exactly what my flow is. I'm flowing with, we need a presence ourselves, a flow where people who have problems, just by even listening to us, listen to my voice, that's my desire now. Just listening or just seeing our presence, they get well. They get healed in their emotions. They get healed even physically. This is more, I call it healing virtue. We want the flow of a healing virtue because most of people are hurting. And one of the what is hurting most of the people is more of emotional issues. They are attached to the physical one. Because you see, Dr. Philo will tell you, liver. Liver has most of the problem. And liver kind of has our emotions. Anger hides there. Fear hides there. Most of the things that are negative hides there. And then they turn, because they keep up eating the good energies that we have in our body, and then they turn to be diseases. So removing them, getting them out from ourselves first. But then after that, we'll now have, when you don't have fear, you'll have the opposite. Boldness. You don't have hate, you'll have the opposite. Love. And this love now overwhelms. When I have more love, more joy, that now overflows to other person. This is now my joy. I want to be in a level where I have abundance, so that it can overflow to others. It can go to others, especially in every interaction I have, whether online, whether physically. Yes, I have had most of the time giving people what we have, giving back to the community the way we always say it. But I want it to be expanded. I want to see more of that flow to help others come out from their difficulties, from their challenges. That is exactly my desire with this fast: healing to flow, healing for those who are hurt, healing for those who cannot fast. This is something that has been a concern to me. There are some people who, no matter how we tell them about fasting, they're in a condition that they cannot fast. What do we do for them? We need to have that virtue of flow of healing that can reach them, even just by words that we speak. Can just say it is well with you, and then they get well. This is the level that this fasting should be taking us now too, because we are spiritual beings, and one of the things that we must take advantage of during the fasting is that our spiritual person, the inner man that lives in us, now comes out, because he has been suppressed by what we eat. He's been suppressed by our lifestyles. But then immediately we stop eating, we are now allow this inner man to get out and now start to work, just flow. And that's what we mean by now flow of joy, flow of all these things, flow of bringing heaven, bringing paradise here on earth. So, and this comes from within. This is not something that we are thinking that, okay, let me pull now heaven, let me pull out. No. When we step aside by not eating, we allow the inner man, who we have already in us, to start to flow to the world that is hurting, that is hopeless, that is. So this is it. Let the flesh just go, keep going until the inner man be like now the evidence. There's a time where there's a point where we become so spiritual beings that just your appearance, the way I started, any negative spirit around, you're just getting out. Just by the people listening to you, they just leave. Some may desire some other gifts. I really want to review what Dr. Flo was saying today. He was more of a point where I was saying that there's a level where you'll reach. This one comes automatically with a lot of fasts, especially the ones like the one we're doing. This is more of spiritual fast. Yes, it is helping us physically and also medically, but it's also spiritual. It's more spiritual. So you're saying that most of people will realize that when you fast so much, you start to read people's mind. And this, because most of the people, even the people around you, have bad intentions. They think wrong about you. They think bad things about you. So you know these things. And now staying with these people will become very difficult. That's what he was saying. So he was like, no, we don't need that gift. But as for me, I feel, no, we need this gift. We need it. How about, can you people share your idea about this? Because it's like, okay, you don't need this gift because you'll know, and you might not want to stay where people are. You'll want to stay away from people because you'll be able to know their intentions. You meet a person on the road, you are able to tell what that person is thinking, even sometimes about you, about other things, the evil. And most of the thing is that you'll just be finding evil. But with that, first of all, what do you think? Do you think we should allow such gifts? Because this is what the world is missing. People are living in places where they can be duped easily. You can meet a person. This is a person who has wrong intention. They cheat you about money and they go with a lot of your money. We need to find these intentions where you can be, but now we don't misuse it. That's what I'm feeling. For me, that's my opinion. If you reach a point where you can be able to read people's heart, you can be able to read people's intentions, you can see, reflect what is in the other side and know exactly. Because for me, there's a time I reached there, but now I think I've mixed myself somewhere. And this fast is going to bring me back again. This is a time for bringing, but that time, that was my intention. I was fasting for exactly that. I needed that, and that power came. Yes, it's like it was released from within because it's always here. I could read and I feel the writing in my hand about another person that is just next to me. Any person comes in my presence, I'll read, get the writings in my hand. I'll be able to tell what the intention of this person is. What do people feel or think? Tell me your thoughts. I must not be a lecturer. I must not lecture. It's just a flow. And I'm very happy, family. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with you people. Yes, Sarah, what do you think?
Well, I want to share what I heard this morning when I woke up, because it's the same that you're saying. It's along the same lines. And I wrote it down, and before, just wanting to say that the evil is there because we're not stabilized in this inner man. So as you're saying, it's going to call to us, and that's a sign. It's arriving to us to show us, hey, this is what you get if you aren't living in the reality of that inner man. But in the morning it said, you are in a real world. And that would be what we're calling as heaven or the inner man, right? So you are in a real world. And that doesn't require for anything. It doesn't require for you to consume anything, any food, that real world, that inner man. It just functions as the real you. So this real you that you are doesn't require anything. It's always going to be functioning. And that is why there even is a you, because you are a functioning, effective, engaging, useful, instrumental, fun, called upon, received, and mind-blowing reality. And so just wanting to go along, like you said, because this is just all confirming. And I like your wording of the courage and love that overwhelms and overflows, because this is what then does come forth. And it's not that, like you said, we need to do anything for that to happen. You just are that right now. You are in a reality, which some people would call heaven or presence or this eternity. And that is the actual you. It requires nothing. And you don't have to pretend anymore that the other you even needs to be entertained. So just wanting to share that.
Wow. This is good. It's great. This is why fasting with people with the same intention doesn't pull you down. You find yourself keeping going, because now you are of the same mind, you have the same heart, you have the same intentions, same wish, same will, the same family, same thoughts. That is it. Okay, before I go to the next thing that I'm thinking, somebody else wants to give his her sentiments, maybe something that you want to add on this one. If there is none, somebody is asking something. Let me check on YouTube. Somebody has said something here. It's good to share this with other people. Thank you. And then another person said, why does fasting give you superpowers? And Sarah just answered that. It's not fasting that gives you superpower. You are already a superpower, because you are a 3-in-1, spirit, body, and soul. So most of the time when we're eating, it is more of our soul and what is obvious, the body. Those are the things that people see, what we call the flesh. And then the real person that we're calling the spirit, that is you, is not seen. But immediately you start to fast, it's like the body gives way, surrenders to the soul, and the soul surrenders to the spirit. Now the spirit becomes the dominant one. It's like the one who's now in control. And that's not what now gives you what you are now calling superpower. You are already that superpower. The way Sarah says, it's quite clear that you are already that being. You are that heaven that you're talking about. You are that peace. But we have well, get the right English one. It's like you have there's a shell that's hiding the real you. So this shell is what we call the flesh. This shell is, and what we have been feeding all along. And that's why you can't see those superpowers. You can't see those that flow, but you already have it. So it's a matter of letting go by doing what we are doing now. Don't eat, just live without eating. Like now, I'm also intending to, maybe as the days will be going, as sleep goes, I will also flow with that, so that I will just be awake and do other things, maybe do so many other things that I should be doing according to how I will not be forcing it, just according to how the body will be. Janelle wants to say something before you can go much. Janelle, yes, I see your hand. Please.
Thank you. So you were previously talking about reading other people's thoughts, reading other people's hearts, and what we thought about sort of gaining that ability through fasting. And so the thoughts that came to my mind it's very important for two types of people for two types of reasons. And there are people who cannot communicate. There are people like elderly people, dementia people, trauma people, and just people who cannot speak, cannot communicate with words, but you feel their thoughts and you look at them and you say, I wish I understood what you're trying to communicate, what is in your heart. So I feel like it is very important for them to feel like they have a vein of communication to the outside world, to the outside of their own bodies and their own systems. And another type of person, like that would be like a blessing for them, communication. And then it made me think of another type of person. There are people who can communicate very well verbally, but they guard their hearts and they do not want their hearts known. They do not want their thoughts read. And I'm feeling like that sounds dangerous to try to read these people, but we're going to get to a space where we're going to be doing it whether we want to or not. So for instance, the person that I am breaking off a relationship with in my life, he is one of these types of people. He has been guarding his heart and his thoughts from me for years and years, and I just feel like if I can do it in a spiritually safe way, I want to be able to reach out to him and have that benefit. But I don't know. It's scary. So I want to know everyone else's thoughts about people with this.
Yeah, I'm like a noisemaker in the house. I start to talk. Anyway, I feel it's just an open discussion anyway. Anyone can give your thoughts. It's not something that we are directing or we are saying it should be like this or like this. But then I feel that what you do with the gifts, that is now the most important thing, because now we should reach a point where we will have a meeting like this and I'm able to tell you, we already have a pure heart. You have done the first things until you have your emotions have been purified, your body is clean, your mind is very okay, and now the spirit is just flowing. The spirit needs purity, so it's flowing. So it will be able to flow, so that as you are the other side, I'm this other side. There's no glass. This physical, it's not there. I'm able to see your heart. You are able to see my heart, and we flow together this way. But then this is just something that we need. Knowing it means that we have already gone half of the journey. Just knowing that this kind of a thing is available for us is just half of the journey. But now, how we use it, because from what Janelle was saying, how the intention for using it, this is where some people miss. Because if it is misused, then it becomes bad. If it's used well, because sometimes wisdom now will be the one to direct wisdom. In this manner, you can see something, you now know exactly what's, and we are quiet about it. But the thing is that you know what is going on. And then now, even how you say it, if you allow me to maybe quote somewhere in the Bible, in the Holy Scriptures, where King David has fallen. And then this prophet comes to him, this Nathan or somebody comes to him, and is not going to be direct in his delivery of the message. He's going to talk about this issue of King David in like a parable. He's using parable to bring it. This is now wisdom, because he's able to see. He has seen this. He has been sent to King David, and he doesn't want to use this gift to destroy. He wants to build. So, this person is at the wrong, but don't approach this person now. I know you are just from maybe this and this place, or no. Just quietly using wisdom. I know of two people, they are neighbors. One is very wealthy. He has guests, and then he has so many livestock, but now he goes and takes only one from the other guy who has only one livestock. And it's like, oh, the King David is like, oh, who is that? That is so evil. Let me go and get that person. We do justice. And then now king is able to find him and tells him, no, the prophet now finds him and tells him, oh, no, King David, you are the one. From what you have done, you have taken someone else's wife. And that is the only wife he had. That's Uriah. Yet, you have other wives. Oh, and it got David to the heart. And David went down. So I'm drawing all that story to bring the idea of the gifts are necessary. Actually, we have been lagging behind. So we are the ones to bring this change in the world. We are the change that we need to see outside here. And we need these gifts. We need to allow them to flow. But now how we use them, we don't misuse them. One other way of misusing these gifts can be also, like when we are comparing King David, I'm just repeating King David, but this prophet Nathan, there's another prophet in the New Testament who was talking too directly. That was his call anyway. I'm not going to judge him. But if you compare them, you see that he used his gifting to even rebuked a king the wrong way. And this cost him. They beheaded him. That is John the Baptist. So you see how Nathan uses his gift and how John the Baptist uses his gift. When wisdom is not there, it becomes very dangerous to have this gift. That's the truth. So it means as we have this gift, they should all come, all of them. We should allow flow of wisdom. Yes, there's knowledge. There's that healing. There is whatever good that's going to help others. Even science. There are things that we can do. There are things that you can do, by the way. Can I share with you this? I'm so excited about this meeting today. What? I'll be saying too many things. I don't know if somebody else wants to talk, but there's something I wanted to say. I wanted to share. If somebody wants to say something before I share this, please say. I should not be the one dominating, please.
Oh, wait, go ahead and share. I'll share after.
Okay. So this guy only did 4 days of a fast. He closed himself somewhere. This is a guy, leave alone stories. This is a guy I know one-on-one, a person that I know one-on-one. But it's a person he's little elderly to me, so he didn't learn dry fast from me. He's just someone who was doing it the way they have been doing it all along. Sometimes they do it without knowledge or something. So this guy did a 4-day dry fast. That's why I'm telling you, when you are doing a fast, you're one of the most, privileged person in this world. You may not know. And combined with your faith, you have everything. So he left this place. He was in a closed place. That was a church building. He left this place. He was using a bicycle. So he was going down and found people mourning. And there was this lot of those sounds that this traditional way of mourning here, people shout, people cry, people give out, wail, all the sounds that they can give, do whichever way they can do it. And when he got in, he knew the person had died. This person had stayed for some hours, I think 6 hours, when the person had breathed the last time he gave the last breath. And he did not have any formula. Nobody had told him to do anything. He did not plan. This is something that he just got when he had stopped the fast. According to him, the 4th day the fasting was over. He went straight to where this guy was because he knew the guy. This was a guy that was his friend. And he felt like, he cannot die. He's too young. He's too young to die at this time. Straight where this guy was laid. And he became like mad. He chased people away, got the parent, only the mother. Can you come, of the deceased? Can you come? And he commanded this guy, can you wake up from your sleep? And the guy like sneezed. After 6 hours of not breathing, dead. No, not clinically declared dead, but people were wailing about for about 6 hours. The guy had died. The person came back to life after a 4-day dry fast. So I'm trying to say what? You can do miracles. There are things that you'll be able to say and you see them come to pass. This is a time that your intention, like the other time Satmaga was telling us, even what he thinks, he's very careful about what he thinks. Because sometimes what he thinks becomes material. He sees it. Thank you. I've done my sharing. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Frederick, just for reminding us of that. It's what we're able to do it's so much beyond what we can conceive. And so thank you all just for doing this. I just wanted to share again on your point of having these abilities. The thing about life is that it's real, so it's convenient. So when you're living in life, life will only do life. So the things that you do with these powers that aren't in alignment with life, there really is nothing to destroy, because anything that can be destroyed would be the false illusory world anyway. And so it's to our fulfillment and benefit and enjoyment to stay open to what is life actually. And so that is when we're using these powers, life will only support life because it's the only thing that's real. The other isn't even real. And that was just an extension of your share. And then also with what Janelle was sharing, I just wanted to give a little voice to thank you for that, because this is what we're going to be doing in a larger community setting. Someone like this elderly person, they're going to know that there is a community existing where they just are known and seen and understood and felt. That will just be a normal communication. And people like us can come together and will be coming together just to live in that, what I call life or reality, right? And then also for this man that you're speaking about, thank you for your patience with him. Someone like him, there's going to be a lot of us like that are living with our false self. And in the beginning, Frederick, when you were saying healing all diseases, and we're also thinking healing all of these emotions that block us in the terror of living in a false self. You know, that's like the same illness that you mentioned too. So someone like him, eventually they're going to just be ready. And they're going to say, I know I'm fake. I know I'm living like this. I'm having turmoil. Who can help me? And they're going to have us to go to, because they're going to not care. I don't care. Break me down. See my false thoughts. Somebody help me. And so just saying that this is what's coming for us when we're doing these fasts and bringing these gifts forth, then it treats individuals like you're saying, Frederick, and like you're saying, Janelle. And then also it's going to be known in community that like, okay, well, right there is where I can go to be treated, seen, or to heal. So just saying that and thanking everyone again.
Wow, thank you. And maybe the last aspect of the fast, not the last, but anyway, for this meeting today, because we didn't want to make it so long, just a short one, then we can have another one. We'll agree on the timing. Maybe we can be resting one day and then we do another day, depending on our strength also. It's also about our mind. You find that when now you have become so pure, there's also detoxing of the mind. And then your mind will become very clean. This is a time that I think when you had Trevor last time, he was talking about this is the time, the best time when now you have clean mind to be journaling some things, because your creativity will be up. Yeah, if there's any problem that you can be solved by thinking, you'll be able to think it out clearly. This is also the best time for making decisions, because sometimes some tough decisions, or you can be weak in decision making, but now you become very strong. And the decisions you make now are like solids. They're rock. You don't now go wavering. When you make decisions, it is. If you are always weak in, what do I make? What do I decide, left or right, In a fasting mode, you become very strong-willed, because leaving food for some time and you just don't eat, that needs a very, very strong will. And now, when you have that strong will that has left the food, how about these other issues of life? You'll be able to make very clear decisions here. If it is decision making, if it is solving an existing problem, you'll be able to think it out very well, because now you have detoxed, your mind is very clean. And this is why even what you listen to, what you watch, it is encouraged that you don't now take junks into your mind. The way you have been, we say we are not taking junk food. We don't want to eat none, no, not any food, whatever name it is. The same way with information. You don't just take everything. You just need now very clean, pure, we can call it energy anyway, but clean, good information. Don't listen to everything. And sometimes you say, some people are told, we encourage even not to watch these TVs, because you find yourself going to be seeing food, you're going to be seeing violence, people fighting, very bad news every now and then. This will break you sometimes. Sometimes will break even your the other strength of your mind. So it will it brings you down instead of taking you up. So we just take things that will be encouraging you, listen to things that will be uplifting you, things that are clean, things that are pure, things that are lovely, the way Bible says. You think about these things, think about things that are with hope, things that will give you. In short, we just say things are positive. So that is it for today. I want to maybe say, I want to conclude for myself at that point, at this point. If somebody else has something else to conclude with, then we stop at this time. If there's none, then we'll be saying bye-bye, and I'm going to see you again very soon. But let us not fear the gifts. Let's allow them to flow. Every gift there's a need for it outside here. Yes. Let's allow them to flow. It is our time to change the way things are out in this world. It is a time for us to be the light of this world, to be the salt that we are meant to be. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone who was here. We are going to say